is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, I think we were all shocked when the president of Russia came out with his revelation of the icons from antiquity, showing us that all of the people of the Bible that we thought were white, were taught were white. Well, some of us knew better. He confirmed what many of us thought. They were black.
And spirituality. Russia, in its rich tapestry of cultures, traditions, and people, is uniquely positioned to lead the world into this new era of understanding and acceptance. From this day forward, let us proclaim our nation under the guidance of Black Jesus, a figure who represents not just the cornerstone of Christian faith, but also a symbol of the universal values of love, compassion, and brotherhood. This Black Jesus, whose likeness and history have been unveiled from the oldest vault, is a message to us all that divinity knows no color, that spiritual truth transcends race, and that our common humanity binds us more tightly than our differences divide us. Let this discovery remind us that history is not just the story of those who wield power, but also of those whose contributions have been overlooked or forgotten. It challenges us to re-examine what we know, to question our assumptions, and to open our hearts to the broader possibilities of understanding and faith. As we embark on this journey of discovery and understanding, let us do so with open minds and compassionate hearts. Let us build a nation that truly reflects the teachings of Black Jesus, a nation that stands for justice, equality, and love for all.
So what we can say is that the president of Russia understands the teachings of Jesus, and he has been bold enough to step forward and proclaim to the world that Jesus was actually black. Now, Russia is set aside in a special way. Russia is the only country in Europe that did not colonize Africa, did not pillage and plunder Africa, and did not take Africans into slavery. Maybe that was the set aside, because you know that in the kingdom of God, he always has the plan. He has always thought ahead of what needed to be done. Nobody else would have had the courage to do what he did. Russia is a superpower of its own, and this man has a mind of his own. And he focused not on Jesus' skin tone, but what he stood for, his teachings, and the model life he lived. And this is the important part of the video that I want to talk about. What Jesus taught, what Jesus stood for, and who Jesus was. And for that reason, black people never cared about Jesus' color. We were always given the white Jesus until we grew up and read and traveled and listened and realized that common sense would dictate to us that the region that Jesus was born in was not a region indigenous to white people. It's too hot over there for them even now. But black people never cared about the color of Jesus. Black people always talked about the teachings of Jesus. Black people know the Beatitudes, the ones who go to church. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Black people know those things. Black people know about Jesus feeding the multitude with only 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Black people believe that. Black people believe all that's in the Bible without even being concerned about the color of Jesus. Black people know what John 3:16 says. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Black people know this stuff. And I'm not talking about you if you don't go to church. But black people know it and black people believe it. So it never mattered what color Jesus was. We all laugh now and talk about growing up. Many black homes, we didn't have a black Jesus in our house because our dad was just that kind of person. But many black people had their white Jesus hanging on the wall, and it was sacred. And they didn't have a problem with it, even as they were living around white people who may or may not have been evil and vicious and had no regard for their humanity. But they were able to transcend what they thought about white people who were doing evil things and put Jesus in a separate category, in a space, all by himself. Black people had the ability to do that. Black people always connected with the spirituality of Jesus. And it didn't matter what color he was. It didn't matter what color Paul was. Black people are going to read and meditate over the fruits of the Spirit regardless of what color Jesus is. They're going to read and study those letters that Paul wrote to those churches in Asia Minor. Black people are going to read that stuff from the Bible and believe it. Now, there are people who are shocked by the idea of a black Jesus, black apostles. In other words, of black people being God's chosen. But who better to be God's chosen people than the people who don't care what color God is? We're not fixated on color to that extent. We were always fixated on saving our soul and protecting our spirit. Who better to be the chosen of God than people who think like that? Now, we come around to the common sense of the matter when we say, so for all those years that black people believed in a white Jesus, prayed to a white Jesus, worshipped a white Jesus, how extraordinary is it for us to be living in such a time as this? A world leader has come out and said, I'm going to tell the truth. I opened up my vault and this is what I found. And we're also told that the Vatican, home of the Pope, has many of these icons and pictures and likenesses stashed away in their vault, and that the Pope himself prays to the black Jesus even as they throw a white fake Jesus, so-called, at us. So he's praying to the real thing, trying to hold on to what he's got, and then he's giving us a fake. And we'll never get what he's got at that rate because he's praying to the right one. Time will tell how much good it does. So I say score 1 for black people because black people were willing to believe in the Son of the living God even when they didn't even think that he looked like them. And some still won't believe it. You know, some people gonna still just be shouting in the church and you tell them, well, you know what? Jesus is black. They'll be like, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Keep on shouting. I don't doubt that some people will do that. But at a point, we do have to grow up. We have to look at things for what they are. We have to accept that we have been lied to on a number of levels. And if other people want to continue to believe what they want to believe, then they have the prerogative to do that. What we know is that the president of Russia has a lot on his plate. And he hasn't had time to go back and paint thousands of icons brown and black or just paint them at all. So we have to believe that there's some truth to what he's saying. So I think that anybody who is doubtful of what he says needs to listen to what he's saying, read the scriptures, and read other books from antiquity telling us what was done to the people of God. Something that they used to tell us about slavery comes to mind when things like this come up. They used to say that slavery did more damage to white people than it did to black people. Nobody believed that. Nobody believed that. But now it's beginning to make sense because slavery and all of the white supremacy that went with it made white people believe they were something that they're not, made them believe that they were special in the kingdom of God, more special than everybody else. They're smarter than everybody else. They are braver than anybody else. Whatever the superlative is, they are it when it comes to something positive. And then when it comes to something negative, they put that off on us. That's detrimental to those people. It has done damage to them, irreparable damage in some cases, because they won't believe anything other than what they have decided is truth. And that truth might in fact be a lie. So anyway, I'm glad to see the revelation coming. So this information has been hidden for hundreds of years. And now, in the fullness of time, and this is the time, it is time for this information to be revealed. And I think it's a case now of you can take it or leave it. But this is what it is. Okay, and I can say that I'm glad that black people have been able to connect with the divinity of Jesus, his teachings, and what he was conveying to the world. And his message was always a message of love. Nothing will separate us from this love that God has for his children. That was the message. But anyway, y'all, let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.